Hey everybody, this is Ashley with DDIY, and I am here sharing a new walkthrough video for a new AI detector called Winston AI. All right, let's jump in. All right, so what is Winston AI? So as I mentioned before, Winston AI is an AI detector, and it also checks your plagiarism as well. So this one is more akin to originality rather than, I would say, undetectable, mainly because there is no rewrite feature for this one. However, it does do some pretty cool stuff. Not only does it, like I said, check the plagiarism factor and the AI detection with a tool. The AI detector, I believe, is a little bit more robust than like undetectable and some of the other free versions. Um, but it's supposed to do extra things like be able to check images and even read handwriting and supposedly detect if it is AI written or not. So let's look under the hood. And I'm just right here, I'm walking you through kind of what the interface is. Now, I will mention this is one of my pros that the interface is super easy to use. I literally didn't watch a video on how to use this, and it was pretty much plug and play. I could just, click on quick scan and can kind of get started. Everything is, just exactly where you want it to be. Okay. They have integration options, as you saw, with various aspects. They are, I believe, marketing this a little bit toward educators, which is a really cool move, in my opinion, because this is going to be something that educators are going to need to look at, especially moving forward. So being able to have both plagiarism and AI detection is just pretty much a no-brainer. All right, so let's dive into actually doing some AI detection. Okay. So as you can see, you can actually name your various scans or the documents that you have. You have to do this pretty much in two places. I thought that place right there was the only one that I needed, but the one at the top that says untitled is actually the one that you need. That was kind of confusing. But as you can see here, I'm having a little bit of an issue. I'm using their free trial. And as you can see, I can't use the plagiarism tool. So even though they offer plagiarism, I can't actually test it for you, which is a total bummer. And this is a big con for me. If you're offering a free trial, you should offer your best plan and all your best features to really hook your consumer, your customer. So to me, this is a big con. Okay, the warning message that you just saw was that my document was bigger than the credits. It took me a minute to realize that each credit is a word. So yeah, it took me. You never know with each of these different platforms what their credit system is going to look like. Some of them, it's like one credit is like 200 words. So you just never know. I couldn't scan an entire document, which was a little bit of a bummer, but that warning did save me from wasting all credits on this. All right, so as you can see, it did detect the AI written text that I had put in there. This was a early 2023 text from Content at Scale. So it definitely outperforms the free AI detectors and is more on par with originality. All right, so handwriting test. This was too good for me not to try out because if you're promoting this to educators who, in secondary particularly, and they need to be able to see if this handwritten text is actually AI written because students are, speaking from experience, can be a little bit tricky. So I wanted to test out if they could detect handwriting AI text in a handwritten piece. All right, so here is the same article, the same stuff that I just detected in the previous test. I wrote it out in GoodNotes and then I sent myself an image file, and I'm uploading it to the to Winston to see if it can actually detect AI text, specifically if it's handwritten. All right, so we're uploading the JPEG file now, or whatever file it was. Yes, maybe it was a ping. In any case, so make sure, as you will see in a second, I'm going to get an error message because I didn't put enough text in it. It's going to say I needed more. You need at least 600 characters. So I had to copy down more text than I had intended. And once I hit scan, it came back with the results and it thinks it's human. Now, I'm not sure what went down here because when I looked at the text that it transcribed from my handwriting, you know, it looked overall like it had transcribed correctly. There were a few typos here and there, and I don't know if the typos are what actually made it fail here. But just to let you know, it did fail on my handwriting test. So I'm my pros and cons are a little bit weird because a lot of the pros are also in the cons. So, and I've discussed a lot of this, you know, like I love that they have the handwritten detection, even though that's also a con. I also like that the file upload is available, even though I couldn't test the PDF, which because it was, as you can see, it was not working or was temporarily out of, you know, use. So there's just, I don't know. There's give and take on all of these. All right, as I move into the cons, please just know that I'm always afraid that I sound too harsh with products, but just know I test this out for a living. And so I'm pretty critical about the products and what I see because I see such a variety of them. Okay. So one of the first ones, as I mentioned before, was the plan limitations. So you can't use all of the features in your free trial. That is a huge issue for me because I feel like if you're going to offer a free trial and let people test out your product, it should be the whole product, not just a portion of it. So I feel like that was a short-sighted move for them. Now, as far as the handwritten AI detection goes, I do feel like, especially since you're marketing this toward educators and who are going to receive handwritten documents from students who can be a little bit tricky, so shall we say, I do feel like this is definitely a move in the right direction. However, it failed. And so I don't know if it was just my handwriting, which I know, as you can see, it's probably a little bit sloppy. But I'm, you know, students' handwriting. I know I was, I was a teacher, so I've seen their handwriting. It's not the best. It needs to work. If you're going to offer this, then it needs to work every time, just as well as it did for the other text. All right. So the next one for me had, as I mentioned as you saw in the first point, there were too many features that just weren't working. I could not use the PDF upload feature, which I really wanted to test out because I haven't seen a lot of AI detectors who claim to be able to do that. And so to see that it's not available for testing was just a really unfortunate. That's one of those areas that I really wanted to look at, in addition to the other issues that I had. All right, so the last one is the AI prediction map. And as you can see this colorful bit of text on your screen, what this does is something very similar, or it's supposed to be similar to what Content at Scale's AI detector offers, which is shows you which text is actually AI written and which text is human written. And if there's yellow is, you know, supposed to be the stuff in between. So what I did is I ran a test for like a combination of AI edited text, like I edited some AI text, and then I added in text that I knew I wrote by hand myself, and I combined them like you would in a regular document as a content creator, and I ran it through the test. Now, through the detector rather, and it came back as 20% human, okay, which, all right, this was about 50-50, if you will. But the issue that I have is when you look down at the prediction map as an editor, this helps me know how to zero in on my edits and really clean up the AI content if I can't see it. So when I see this prediction map, you're looking in the green, it's supposed to be human. Okay. It's supposed to be, it says unlikely AI generated. That means that's the human part, right? Well, unfortunately for this particular test run, that portion was the edited AI content that I got off of ChatGPT. Okay. The red part is actually the human written part. So it got it flip-flopped. And then I'm not seeing any kind of yellow. Now, if this were content at scale, it would be like green, yellow, and red all over. And it would show all the colors, and it would give me an idea of the problem areas. And get a lot more granular than this. So overall, this prediction map doesn't work, and which is incredibly disappointing. I'm not sure what is happening on the back end, if maybe in coding the colors are just incorrect, but overall, this was just really disappointing. All right, so let's look at the big question, and that is it worth it? And I'm going to say that it depends on which features you need. And I'm going to break things down into two specific categories based on pretty much what, how Winston is kind of marketing themselves, I guess you will, and my domain. All right, so if you are a content creator, we'll look at that, or a copy editor or copywriter, if you're a writer of any kind, and you work with AI and you want to make sure if your documents have it, you're going to be getting that in through like a DocX or Google Docs, and you can plop that in. That won't be a problem. If you want to find out, is this human or not? I do think that Winston in that regard, it found my AI detection, for the fully AI generated pieces with no problem. So I do think that works well. However, if you are like me and you want to make sure that you balance using AI with human text, that's going to be a problem based on the AI predictive map. And until they make that work properly, then I would, if you're already using whatever, using something like content at scale or even originality, this was a bone that I have with originality too, then I don't think you need to change until Winston actually beefs up their game a little bit. Because I do think if Winston were to beef up their game and improve upon their product, then yeah, I could definitely see myself moving to this product if it got improved. All right, so the next group of people that, based on their website, that they look like they're marketing to is educators. Now, I can't speak to the plagiarism and how accurate it is, mainly because I couldn't test it. It's not part of their free trial. Again, huge problem. But I do think that if they got the handwritten AI detector to work well, yes, this would be hugely beneficial to them. In combination with having plagiarism and AI detection, both on a handwritten and a text front, man, this would really help educators make sure that they know what is AI written and what's not. I also think, given that they have the beginnings of this AI predictive map, that would also benefit educators if it worked. Because as a former teacher, I could sit down with my student and say, look, this is this is clearly AI written. These portions right here are coming back as AI written, and you cannot do this, depending on what your school's policy is. So overall, for educators, if your school does not already have an AI detector with a plagiarism detector in with it, then I can see you guys looking at Winston because of the potential that it has, because it has the capabilities of looking at images and looking at documents as a whole. I think that that's a great move for Winston. However, if you already have an AI detector with a plagiarism checker like Originality, then I would say, yeah, I would just stick with Originality until Winston actually improves upon the product that they have and provides a better service in terms of like that AI prediction map and the handwriting prediction. So given that, it's kind of up to you on which features you need. All right, so that is all that I have for you on Winston AI. If you would like to really dive in a lot deeper, you can check out the companion article on ddiy.co. And you will be able to find it there so that you can kind of look at pricing and more information on that. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.